Bro, listen. In 2020, there's a girl that recommended a book to me. The book is called No More Mr. Nice Guy. I think it was written by Dr. Robert A. Glover or something. And I was wondering, why did she just recommend this book to me? And then later on, now when I approached this girl, she was like, Chris, you know what? When I approached her and I was like, yeah, you see, I like you and everything, and I want us to be together. She's like, Chris, you know what? You're too nice for me. I don't think you're the guy that I want. Then I connected the dots and I was like, oh, that's why she recommended that book to me earlier on. And she was like, read that book again. And I read the book and I came to realize, oh, now I understand why uh, this girl recommended this book to me. And it got me thinking, how many of you have ever been rejected by a girl and she's like, I like you, but I only like you as a person? I'm sure that's a statement that is very, very familiar with most of you. It's a statement that is very familiar with most of you, where you've gone and approached a girl and she's been like, you know what, Chris, I like you, but I just like you as a friend and nothing else. Bro, I've been there and I know how bad that sucks. That's why I don't like being friends with girls anymore. Even the ones that I was keeping as my friends, I'm like, at one point I'll probably want to fuck. And if I want to fuck and you consider me as a friend or you consider me as a brother, and yet you already have enough brothers, probably that's something that I don't want. So if you have a female, a girl that is your friend, you're a nice guy. There should never be any relationship between a man and a woman that it's either I'm fucking or she's benefiting something else from me. I don't want female friends. Please stay away from me because I'm not interested in you. And that book was like the biggest eye opener. And I'll tell you some of the lessons that I learned from the book. But before I do that, let me just welcome you up here on my YouTube channel. Yeah, you all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your host, I am your teacher, Chris Basedeke. And I'm just reminding you, those days are coming by very quickly. On the 28th of January, I am launching this new product. I'm creating some very good merchandise for us. I hope my suppliers, everything should be ready by the 28th of January. And whereby 28 of my subscribers, I'm going to ship to them, send them my product free of charge. The whole charge is on me. I'm sending you my product free of charge. All you have to do is subscribe here and mention something where you're watching me from in the comment section. That's all that you need to do. And you join the competition. 28 of you. Because anyway, all I took maybe 1 or 2%. Actually, no. 2,000, 10% is, yeah, just 1.5% there. So if you want to be part of that, then get into that. Number one, the first lesson that I learned from this book: people with the nice syndrome are the ones that avoid to get in a conflict. Bro, a nice guy will bend forward and backward, sideways, for him to avoid to be in conflict. If they find themselves in a position where they disagree with that thing, but because everyone else is just saying, no, 1 plus 1 is equals to 2, but the nice guy will just say yes is equals to 2, even though he can see 1 plus 1 religiously speaking. If I was to go in the direction of religion, 1 plus 1 equals to 1. That's why they say in the Bible, if you guys read your Bible, the man will leave his mother and his father, and he will go join with the wife, and they become one thing. Religiously speaking, 1 plus 1 equals to 1. And even if you were to say 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals to 1, there is just one God in terms of religion. But listen to this. But there is one in three. There is God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And this is for the believers, those who believe in in that aspect of religion. But mathematically speaking, 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals to 3. A nice guy will avoid looking at things like that because, no, I don't want to be part of any conflict. Let me just be me. And that's something that is totally wrong with being a nice guy. So that was lesson number 1. The lesson number 2 is, bro, nice guys are never authentic. They want to copy what this guy is doing, what the other guy is doing. They're never authentic in anything that they do. Even me, let's say, for instance, now me with this podcast here, I try to become like, let's say, uh, Amerix, someone I respect the most. I try to become like him now. I start teaching about masculinity. No, I'm not authentic. I am more authentic me sitting here behind this camera and talking to you about the book that I've read, because anyway, we are all learning something together. The case of the great Amerix, he's already a doctor. He's very qualified in the field that he's in. For me here, I'm just another reader. I read books and I pass the information from from the book to the next person, and I keep moving. That's all that I know how to do. And with nice guys, they're never authentic. They see someone doing something and they're like, I can also do that thing. And then they go and they copy. And the reason why they cannot be consistent with what they copy, because anyway, you're preaching what you already know. So it's now me here. If I was copying any other YouTuber that exists out there in the world, then I can never be consistent at this shit. Why? Because I am copying someone else's ideas and ideologies out there. But when it comes to books, bro, no one will beat me to sit down and read books. I read 7 hours a day on my free days. So how can anyone come and say, yeah, Chris, no, bro. I spend time doing this thing that I do. And by the way, I don't do it because I want to seek the approval of a Kibe or someone. No, bro, I do this for me. I don't even do it for my parents, not for my mother, not for my sisters, not for my family members. No, this is for me alone. I am interested in the craft that I'm doing. And that's why I focus on exactly that which I'm doing. Very authentic things. And do you know what? Sometimes when I say things like this, and then my family members see it, they're like, Chris, we don't really like the things that you are saying online. I'm like, yes, you don't have to like it. It's just for me anyway. It's not for you. No. If I wanted to pass this message to you, I'll have just come and speak to you face to face. So I'm not a nice guy. I don't want to be nice. Just to live my life as it's supposed to be, and I am okay with that. Number 3. So, what a nice guy does is they seek the validation of people around him. So imagine now if I'm doing these conversations here, and now I go to my family and ask them, what did you think of what I said in that video? Or I go out there and be like, what do you think of my YouTube channel? Fuck you and that bullshit of niceness in you. Whoever likes it, they like it. And whoever doesn't, which is They're very minority, by the way, and most of them, most of the people who listen to me, bro, these are brothers. They understand this. We are all like-minded. So I don't need the validation of anyone. But even if one person, I have a video out of the ones that have 50 views, 40 views, 15 views, and another one has maybe below that one has like 5 or 10 or 15, 20, because anyway, it's a small YouTube channel. That one video has just 5 views. Imagine if I was someone that was like, I can only post a video once one has reached 10 views because it's a small channel. No, fuck all that shit. Bro, people didn't watch that. It's fine. I'll produce another one. On top of that, there's one that has 600 views. So what if I stopped at the one that had 5 views? Then it means I will never have moved beyond that. So you want me to go and seek validation like a child going to the parent? Please allow me to eat a candy today and all that shit. No. If you ever find yourself, gentlemen, looking for validation from anyone, whether it's from your father, from your mother, from your sisters, from your cousins, you are the nice guy. And you need to kill that shit now. Now that 2025 has started, you need to kill that shit. Because if you fail to kill it, then that's the burden that you're going to carry. Not only in 2025, but you'll find yourself carrying it in 2035 and 2045. You don't need the approval of anyone. If it's the job that you are enjoying, stick to that job. If it's a business that you're thinking and you're already strategizing on how you're going to enjoy it, bro, stick to that shit. Don't listen to the nonsense of anyone that is telling you, oh no, you could do this. Yes, I myself here, bro. Now let me tell you why you should not seek the external validation. I myself here, I have more friends who know, yes, he has a YouTube channel. Yeah, but I've never seen them in the comment section telling me, oh yes, apart from the very few of them who come to the comment section. So do you want me to stop my life now because they're not approving what I'm doing? Nah, fuck that. I don't have time for that, man. Number 4, as a man, you should never ever rely on anyone emotionally. Emotionally, yeah, I'm not feeling well now. Let me go rely on my brother, on my father, on my wife. No, no, no. Be self sufficient when it comes to your emotions. You cannot go and start crying to anyone. Oh, life is. No, shut the fuck up. I don't even like hearing people coming to me with their shit. My emotions are, Chris, die. Just go take a space somewhere and die peacefully, and we'll live and forget about you. But you now trying to be heavy as if you just fell from the sky, and now you need to be pampered and be babied around. No, leave that shit. It's like, you see, feelings is something that just belongs to people. It's kids. I feel like eating, they go and eat. I feel like crying, they start crying. I feel like jumping around, they start jumping around. As a man, you should never have that kind of nonsense in your existence. How do I feel? Nobody cares. I have to do what I have to do. If I have to sit here every day and produce content, so be it. And I stick to that. Anything else that comes on the side is just another big distraction. And why would I want to have time for this distraction? It's not important. It's not useful. No, I don't have time for that. Number four, number five, I think is number five. Think of it this way: all the countries in the world, if Donald Trump today is fighting and saying all the borders must be closed, all the borders must be sealed and everything, so it means his country has a boundary. This is the boundary that the United States has, and this boundary must be respected. So now, you as an individual finding yourself in a situation where you do not have boundaries, and people talk to you anyhow, and you say, yeah, yeah, it's fine, I can live with that. Something is wrong. Something is definitely wrong with your existence. If you don't have any sort of boundaries and the things that you stand for, you are sick. Every country in the world has a boundary. How come see you today as a man listening to me, you do not have any boundary? So it means anyone can push you to the wall, pull you back, and you're okay. But when anyone is crossing your boundaries, what you should be having like your whole guard, military, aeroplanes in the air and everything to defend that boundary. Just like the same way Donald Trump is about to defend these boundaries that he has of his countries. No one is coming through the southern border. They all have to be protected. You also, you also should be having your boundaries like that. So that next time anyone wants to cross these boundaries, they know there is consequences that are out there and that must and that will come upon me falling like I don't know what. That's the deal. Bro, listen. For number six, this one is simple and clear because I've said it not once, not twice. Very many times I've been saying this here on this channel. Bro, you have to embrace your masculinity. And by embracing it, maybe this should be a video on its own, but you should be able to learn how to embrace this masculinity. They call it toxic, they call it anything, just embrace it. So, bro, part of your masculinity calls you to be a provider, to be a protector, to be a warrior, to be a lover, and to be a magician, as is written in the book, The King, Warrior, Lover, and Magician. It's part of your masculinity. You are a king, then treat yourself like a king, and your wife or your girlfriend is going to treat you exactly like that. But with nice guys, sometimes they treat themselves as kings and sometimes they treat themselves as trash. So, which is which? It even confuses the people who uh, who wants them because they're like, this guy treats himself like a king sometimes, and very often they treat themselves like the bottom of the barrel shit. So, nice guys have a problem with that, and you should avoid treating yourself like that. How do you become a warrior? Bro, a warrior should be physically fit and physically very strong than anyone. Of course, you'll meet people who will challenge your strength, but yes, you have to be very, very strong to dominate the environment that you are in. Or be a formidable force. Because anyway, every man in their lifetime will meet someone that is stronger than them, bigger than them in terms of physique and everything. But be a force to be recognized. It's like me when I walk in a room. There's people in there, but the way that I shake people's hands, grab their hands properly, and everything, bro, it shows them that yes, this is someone not to joke around with. But then, of course, my big physique also adds to the advantage that I have over the people in the room. So it also plays a key role right there. A lover. How can you be a how can you not be a nice guy and be a lover at the same time? Yes, you love passionately in the way that probably the messages that you send, yes, they're full of love and everything, and you know how to love the people that you have. This is your wife, your children, your brothers, your sisters. Yes, you know how to love and also be able to fight. Because anyway, otherwise you become like a rabbit. You see, rabbits, they do nothing. They're just there to be eaten. And you cannot afford that. Nice guys are like rabbits. They're ready to be eaten. And how are they eaten? Not necessarily in forms of bestiality where they get to be eaten by fellow human beings. No. Nice guys are eaten by being taken advantage of, by being pushed to the side when the big men are coming in and everything. And the Trump has that behavior of like pushing people out of his way because he's a good man. Gentlemen, you should all strive to be good men rather than striving to be nice men. Because nice men are the most dangerous creatures walking on this planet. A nice guy will throw his fellow brothers under the bus just for them to feel like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Ah. Number 7, boy, you should be comfortable with conflict. Disagreement. For me, I've had to learn this the hard way. I thought maybe being disagreeable was a very bad thing until one day when I was sat in class. And this was when I was in the School of Politics and International Relations. Bro, I sat in class and I questioned my lecturer. And now there was all this bunch of leftist students in my class then. And all of them were like, they believed in global warming and all that shit. And for me, I just posed my questions. I asked my questions as someone who didn't believe in this shit that they were trying to teach me. Uh, Bro, it wasn't a very pleasant place to be in. But I was so comfortable with it to the point that the lecturer was like, yeah, Chris, get out. Which we ended up going to the council where they listened to us and everything. And I'm like, I am okay with this kind of conflict. Disagreeing with the rest of the people, you should also be okay with that. Otherwise, you find yourself now going down the rabbit hole of instructions and you follow. And you know who has that kind of mentality is a slave. A slave is just given instructions by the masters, and yes, by the master, and they follow. And nah, not worth it. And finally, number 8, being able to prioritize self-care. And self-care could just be like you buying yourself a very nice t-shirt, buying yourself a very nice perfume, or treating yourself to a very nice coffee like this one. That's it. So, gentlemen, these are the lessons that are here. You guys avoid being the nice man, otherwise, you'll be the most useless people in the society. But also, I'm not saying that the equivalent of not being a good man. Don't be nice people, just be good men. And your life is just going to take a direction that you've never imagined could have ever taken. Yeah, and you're going to enjoy this life. If you really want to read this book, No More Mr. Nice Guy by Robert A. Glover, I'm going to link it in the description area below this video here on YouTube. Yeah, you can buy it on the Amazon or in bookstore in your country, whichever place where you watch me from. And I can guarantee you, you're not going to regret reading this book. I've read it before and I've reread it again, and I don't regret it at all. Other than that, see you all in the next one.